What's up, guys? This is Florian Jungwirth, and you're listening to Tectonic Takes.
Hello TT family, I just want to give a quick shout out to all of our Patreons before we start this video and the Beautiful Game Network. Thank you for sponsoring this video. Without you guys, this would not be possible. If you have a quick second, please go ahead and like this video and subscribe below. We appreciate all the help that we can get to grow the San Jose Earthquakes community and media presence along all platforms. As well as if you enjoy this video, please go ahead and share it with your friends and family. We would greatly appreciate it. Lastly, enjoy the video. Go Quakes.
No, in MLS, you can read the game better than I do. Obviously, I like guys like Walker, for example, who are physically or like better than I, out of question. But when it comes to read the game, I think I'm the best in my position. And especially for Mati's system, I think you need a guy who reads the game, because we are exposed one-on-one for the fullbacks and one center back. So there must be a guy who's protecting this three line. If you want so, and I think you really need a guy for that to read the game. And like I said, I think there's no one better than I, without being arrogant.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's great to hear that. What's one part of your game you feel like you can improve?
Scoring goals, man.
Yeah. You want to do that goal that you did when your first professional goal? You want to hit a banger like that?
That would be something. Yeah. No, but I have a couple of goals, but since I'm with Matti, I haven't scored. Maybe it's him. I think it's him. No, no, but really, I got to improve that. I had a couple of chances from set pieces, and got to work on that for sure. I mean, there are always things you can improve, but for me, it's more important, especially in my age now, that I always say, even when I work with the young players together, it's important to have one weapon. That everyone's like, man, that's the thing,
right?
And I'm more like trying to perfecting my weapon than working more on my weaknesses. Obviously, I work on my weaknesses, but I definitely spend more time in extra work to improve my weapons.
And your weapon is reading the game, right? You said that?
Yeah, like I said, reading the game, playing diagonal balls, long balls, passing build up from the back.
Right.
That's something I definitely take more work in.
Yeah. And do you sit down and watch game film a lot? Is that something that you do to prepare you for reading the game?
I always record the game at home when we play, and then I watch it every game twice. I watch it one time just watching it, just in general, and then second time I'm always focused on myself, on my actions, and then I for the upcoming game I prepare against my possible opponent.
Oh wow. And then you watch, like, if you were playing Zlatan, did you watch his film? Or then you're playing like Blanco, do you watch his film? Is that something you go ahead and do?
Definitely. I mean, for Zlatan, of course, you know who I'm facing, but for me, it was more like getting a strategy, because it's also like the mental part is important.
Yeah.
And, when you play young guys, for example, it's important, like you can provoke them, you can be nasty and all that stuff. And this is something I think about all week long. How can I destroy this dude,
Yeah.
But when you play against Zlatan, you cannot play these games, you cannot step on his feet, you cannot make him angry, because I knew when I make him angry, he's gonna destroy me 100%. Physically, for sure, because he break my nose on, and probably he will get better and better. So this plays also a part, like really to prepare during the week and find like a game plan, be like, hey, what's the best way to play this dude, and how can I be mentally a dickhead against him?
Okay, awesome. And really, so I have another question for you about talking back to the Michael Starry time. You said they weren't playing adult soccer with almost the same guys back. What did you mean in that adult soccer comment? Are they playing adult soccer now, or was it more like the fight? I know you talked a little bit about the fighting in the back. Was it more to that? Like, this is AYSO, man. We're like fighting back here.
No, it's the way how you act, It's like playing mature. It's like you can always lose a game, and I have no problem to lose against better teams. But in that time, when you lose like I mentioned before, we lost almost every game by 1 goal.
Yeah.
And having like stupid mistakes, brain farts, kind of lost the focus in the last minutes. And I was like, we talked about it in the locker, and I was like, that's not professional, You can always do mistakes. I do 1,000 mistakes every game. I don't mind about that. But losing the focus, being not 100% physically ready for a game, that's unprofessional. And that was what I meant with being youth soccer,
Yeah.
And I was angry with that, and I'm not a guy, I'm not talking around. When you ask me something, I tell you my opinion. I know not everyone was happy and satisfied with that statement, but honestly, I don't care. If I think that way, I tell it to the world. I know everything you do has consequences, and when I get the consequences, sometimes that's the way it is. But that's the way who I am, and I will not change just to satisfy other people.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome to hear. Was the Quakes team or the front office mad at you for that, or was it more like the players? They were like,
of course, man. When you say these things, people are not happy with you. I mean, I don't mean that to be bad at other guys. For me, this is kind of a wake-up call.
Yeah, exactly. Lighting a fire.
Being the guys, we can't continue and it's not like that I just say that in the media, I said it in the locker, face to face to everyone. When we had that conversation, like I mentioned, when we lost that, everyone had his chance to say something. And I also revealed my opinion. I was really pissed at guys who were not professional enough. And I said, if we don't continue, I don't care. I break everyone's leg in the training. I don't care. I go nuts because this is my life. And I fought all my life to be where I am right now, and I deserve my spot to be here, and everyone else too. So why giving it up, or why taking it a risk? That's just who I am. Like I said, if someone makes mistakes, like I said, I do a lot, no problem. But when you don't fight, you don't give your best, you don't act professional during the week, and don't act professional at the game, and then you piss me off really, really bad. And of course, that the club doesn't like that if you say that in the media, because you reveal that you have problems. But I mean, when you are last and 25 points behind a playoff spot, it's not a secret, that you have problems in a team, right?
Definitely. And walk us a little through last year. I mean, you had a pairing of Tanner and then Jacob as well. How did you motivate these young guys, or how did you help coach them during the game? What was something that you saw that they improved on what you told them? How did you feel playing with the young guys?
Especially with Jacob. I think I didn't play with Jacob. It was the game against Portland. He played with Osvaldo in the back. I played 6, but then he got subbed off because he was injured, and then I came back. But especially with Tanner, I really have to respect him, because we talked before, and of course you're nervous when you're young. It's your first MLS appearances and all that stuff, and it takes time. And we sat down and we talked about it, and I just told him, I said, man, just trust in your game. Just focus on yourself. That's the most important. You can't influence everyone else's performance. So just focus on yourself and just listen to me, because I know how it works. I have the experience. Let me coach from the back. Let me organize the defense. Just be on yourself. Play with confidence, and you will be fine. And I think he did a really, really good job. It's his first year. He showed really good skills, good abilities, and I think he's on a good way to become a decent player. And
I love remembering the images of you yelling at him during those games, and I was like, oh man, that's the fiery spirit that we love Flo for. I mean, he's just coaching the young guys like if it was his son, like he was just yelling at him, and that's awesome. That was great to see. When it becomes excuse me, I forgot. 1 second. What do you love about San Jose, the city? I apologize, I forgot about what I was gonna say. But what do you love about San Jose, the city itself?
To be fair, city itself is pretty boring. No, what I love is like the nature around. I love
the nature.
The nature, the mountains. I love. Beach. I love kayaking. Find ways there. I have 3 dogs, so I love being out with them, walking around with them. So I really love the nature, obviously the weather, but the city, just the cities for me, is like, I miss like being like out a little, like being in like I miss like really good restaurants, having a great coffee. The nightlife could be better too. But all in all, I'm very happy.
Okay. And really quickly, I'm in Japan, so I definitely know what you're talking about when missing the nature. I miss, having Lake Tahoe 4 hours away. I miss having Big Sur right, an hour away, Monterey, Santa Cruz, all these beautiful places right in our hand. I mean, San Jose is a beautiful area to be around if you love nature as well, and all the hiking too. All the hiking out there, it's just insane.
Out of question. Next time you come to my house in Tahoe.
Okay. Oh, all right. Let's go. Let's do it. I'll bring my son. I'll have him learn the great flow way. That's awesome. Thanks.
Yeah, you need a babysitter because we go out then after. Right?
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Flo. I just remember. I apologize. How was the playoff loss? I know it was heartbreaking, gut wrenching. It was a game where we had it in our grasp. We kind of got killed by our Achilles heel all year, right? The set pieces was the main thing that killed us. Is there a couple of things to help us do better on set pieces this year? Have there been talks of, maybe we work on set pieces a little more? And then also, how did you feel in the playoffs? I mean, especially during those penalty kicks, how did you feel? Walk me through it.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I think we work a lot on set pieces during the week. I think it's not that, but I think it's also the type of preparation when you know who you face in your duels. We watch plenty of videos, so actually we should know where the ball is coming to. And obviously you can lose a header, but sometimes we concede like 3 headers against us, and that's something. As a coach, you can say whatever you want. It's just like your focus, your type of defending. So it's definitely everyone's individual stuff he has to work on. But the game was obviously was heartbreaking. I think we played really good. Get down 1-0 quickly. You were like, man, that sucks. But then we turned it around. Went to halftime 2-1. Had a great feeling, and then went out, got the stupid set piece goal, and that broke the neck a little because we knew when we are good till the 65 minutes, still leading, we know we got space and we are really good counter attacks like the second goal we scored. I think then it would have been a different game, but that was tough. And then it was just a tough fight. And when Wando hits the post and in the 89th and then 2 minutes later you got the goal and you're like, man, that's not true. But I still think we in that game we fought so hard. I think the hardest fought game I've ever played since I'm here with Wakes. And then extra time we had 2 huge chances with Christian and Kate where we had to score actually, but it is what it is. And then PKs is kind of a luck. Obviously when you miss all 3 it sucks, but it can happen. And I think obviously we were so close, so it was tough to swallow, but in the end, after a couple of days, in the end, I was really proud to the team performance on everyone, because everyone gave his last, because we were all like tired, injured. This schedule was so hard, man. Playing 18 games in 10 weeks, we had like injuries, but no one could recover. Everyone had to go on with his injuries. So I know lots of players were pretty much damaged. Damaged, but.
And then playing in front of a crowd, right? For the first time in a year, right? So that must have been another thing on top of playing a playoff game
when we went out for warm-up, I thought we played in front of 100,000 fans. I was like, it felt so loud. I was like, man, what's going on here? It was great. It was just great. It felt normal. Even though I have to say I enjoyed playing without the fans, because the game was way more intense, because you got to know every feeling, every emotion of every player. You have to be way more focused than with like the crowds, because sometimes you're like swimming on the wave. When you have a good time, fans are pushing, you're like, man, everything is flowing. But this time you were always on your own, so I really liked the game, because like I said, it was more intense. But, we need the fans back.
And it looks like it's coming pretty soon. And to talk a little bit about the PKs, did you see the pictures where Tim Melia is a little bit off the line?
No, man, I couldn't watch it, honestly. Maybe I watched it now, but I was not able to watch it. Otherwise, I would smack my TV or so.
The Quake fans, they took some screenshots of Tim Melia actually being off the line before the penalty kick. So all the Quakes fans are very proud of what you guys put on the field, and that was the feeling. We were all really happy. I mean, we were so close, and we should have beat the first seed. So we should have been there in the playoffs, and we definitely we made a good case for us winning, multiple games in that playoff. So we were really proud of what you guys have done that last year, especially with all the ups and downs and all that. So definitely. Really quickly, we'll wrap this up in just a little bit, but I have one more like meat and potato question for you. Switching from Daniel Vega to JC Marcinkowski, was there some differences in leadership there? Was there differences in communication? What are some differences when you have a different goalie come in during mid-season?
I mean, for me, it's part of the game. Players are changing during a season. It's not my first season, and I think JT is very, very professional goalie. He works really hard during the week, putting in a lot of extra work. So I think he was ready, and when Matti gave him a chance, and I think the first game was Portland at home when we tied 1-1. It was incredible because he played so mature. He had the guts to build out from the back all the time. He was talking in a good way, that was impressive for me too, because usually when you talk on the field, it takes time to find the right words to talk in the right moment, but he has such a good feeling for that when to be motivating, when to be like a little rough, being like, man, wake the fuck up or something like that. And he didn't mind. So it was his first game, and I was really impressive. And he continued in a great way. And I think now he's with the national team, so I think he will gain lots of confidence. And I think he's on a good way to become one of the top MLS goalkeepers.
Oh wow, that's great. That's high praise to say. He probably really appreciates that.
He gives me $20. He gives me $20 later.
Oh yeah. Can you sign the jersey for me later on when you so one last question before we wrap this up. What do you think the reason is behind American players finding success in Germany recently?
That's a good question. I think it all started with maybe it's like a little with obviously with Christian Pulisic. He was like the first. I mean, there were already Americans in the league before, but I think he was the biggest one. And maybe it has also a little something to do with Klinsmann, because he was a coach for Germany, for the US. Maybe there's some type of connection. And I felt like that the Germans, they recognize that there's like high potential on American players, that they have the right attitude, a good skill level. And now you see like there are a lot of guys in Germany, a lot of guys in Europe, like West McKennie played for Schalke, now is in Juventus, and they're all doing good. There's like literally no one who's like really not doing well. Now we have in Schalke, Hoppe, he came out of Norway, has scored a hat-trick in his first appearance. So there's definitely a hype, and I think the train is for real, and I think, in my opinion, US soccer is on a great way, and I think it still needs development, but I think the World Cup 2026 could be so exciting for this nation. I mean, you see the excitement is getting more and more, so we are coming closer to the top sports in the US, and I think 2026, this team could be ready for something big, I think. I hope so.
And that's definitely what a lot of people think too. And MLS too, right? Getting this deal done for the CBA was really important, because they don't want to ruin that momentum that maybe the national team has in 2026. So well, all right. Well, Flo, we want to thank you for coming on. This has been a great experience. We really appreciate all the fans that listen every week and wanted to know from you. And this is great. I want to thank you so much for coming on.
Sure, man. It was a pleasure.
All right. Well, that's it from us, guys. All we have to say is go Quakes, right?
Sound good, man. I like that. Enjoy Japan, man.
Oh, I appreciate it.